put shingles in the area so they can see all that.
Tons of water damage.
Yeah, for sure. Broken rust.
Destroyed.
Okay. All right. Hi again. I'm Andrew with Integrity Pro Roofing. Today we're going to talk about how to remove a swamp cooler from a roof and then patch back in the hole. This is actually a really common question. We get asked all the time to do it. So first thing is you want to make the unit as light as you can to get it down off the roof safely. So most swamp coolers have panels that you can just pop these out. Sometimes there's set screws here or up here, but these ones don't have any. They're a little hard and rusted in sometimes, but just pull up, they pop out, go to the side, and you can just toss those down the roof. Next thing you want to make sure is make sure that all the water's drained out before you start messing with things. We're lucky on this one, it's already been drained for us. So we're good to go on that. So I'm just going to remove the rest of these panels and get them off the roof.
That was quick.
You want to show this? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, we're just going to throw these down. You want to make sure there's a safe place, or you can carry them down the ladder too, but nobody lives in the house, so we're safe to throw them off the roof. The next step is we want to find out how the swamp cooler itself is fastened to the plenum, which then goes into the house. This one's easy. Looks like there's just a few screws here. Sometimes these are stood up on feet, and there's actually 4 legs that go down in each corner. Those are also pretty easy to remove. Just got to pull the screws out. Now this one also looks like there's some silicone. Let's come over on this side. Looks like it's actually glued together, so we're gonna have to cut that all out. That's gonna take a little while, but that'll be the next step we do. Sometimes there's some sort of a flashing back here. You're gonna have to deal with that also to get them off. This one's actually glued on, so we'll have to cut that off as well. Good. Unless it gets really bad, I can just put a glove on too to be able to see it. This just peels off.
EPDM.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. That's, it looks like EPDM. Do this to all 4 sides. We didn't undo that. So one more thing before we pull this off is I wanted to talk about where the water's hooked up. This was already disconnected when we got here, but normally see the float here? There's a little line right here. This just comes off with just like a 1/2-inch wrench or a crescent wrench. The whole black line will come off. The water supply for the whole thing. And good to go. There's also electrical on here, which we'll find once we pull and disconnect this unit, but should be good to go. So now that we've got everything cut around here, Just kind of want to wiggle it around a little bit and make sure it's all loose. And then the plenum more than likely is sticking up inside the unit, so you can't push it off. You're gonna have to kind of tip it up and over. So the safest thing is to tip it up the roof, not down the roof. So we're just gonna kind of tip this up, hope everything works. Here, you can turn it on. All right, well, before you can move the unit, you gotta actually disconnect the wiring, which we kind of forgot to do, so we're doing it now. We're not an electrician, so we're not gonna really comment on the wiring and how to do that. You should consult an electrician, or I'm sure there's plenty of YouTube videos out on how to disconnect them. But there should just be some wire nuts in here. Disconnect it, pull the wires, and then you can pull your unit. The electrical all disconnected. You wanna make sure it's shut off in the panel first, obviously. Now it's all disconnected. There's usually some sort of a conduit. This is a metal conduit, which actually is not to code, but anyway, should be a rubber conduit, like a hose type. Anyways, just gotta feed the wire back through it so you can pull the unit out. You might need to help me actually.
Pull it.
Yeah, here. All right, now we got the wire pulled out. Sometimes you can back feed them this way. Sometimes you actually have to pull the unit off. That's it. All right, now we're ready to tip the unit off. Now, one thing is, if you're doing this on your own and don't have somebody to help you, you can actually dismantle these almost completely, at least into much more manageable size pieces. So there's, for this one, which is a really common one, there's just screws out here on the outside. You just pull this off, and the whole frame just kind of all comes apart, so you can really cut down on the weight for doing that. For every day we're not, because I actually have help today, but yeah, that's a little trick there that'll help you out. All right, so now we'll try it again. It should be all free now. Tip it all the way up. There we go. Looks like we are completely free. Here's our old wire. For now, we're just gonna put it down here so we don't get it cut or messed up. That's good for now. Now we'll just get rid of this unit and we'll be back in just a minute. All right, now we've got the unit out of the way. Now we can deal with the plenum. So we wanna look inside here. It's actually connected. This one's fortunately very easy because it has this flex duct right here. Normally this is hard piped. And usually they have some screws in here holding it on. So you can see they just had a cable tie, which is actually already broken for us, which is great. Should be able to just push this down. Don't want to lose the wire. Okay, and that's it. We'll just leave the wire right here. We'll come back to that. Now we just got to take this off. So this is actually just nailed. You can see it right here, nailed and screwed right to the roof. So because we have to replace all these damaged shingles and stuff, we can just kind of rip this out. So we'll just kind of be brutal with it, but we'll fix all that later.